All right, so who's ready to begin illustrating? We'll do that next video. I want to talk about resources real fast. Give me 3 minutes to discuss this. I go to the internet all the time for just random pieces of artwork. For example, maybe I need a little screw or something like that, and I don't feel like drawing it. Well, the internet is magical in some sense. We're just finding these just rare little like micro pieces of artwork, and you're probably going to find that as you begin making your pinball table, you need a mix of your kind of illustrated stuff, but then also to that weird hybrid of like real things, because we are trying to make this at least somewhat look like it's an actual table, which actual pinball tables do have, your kind of real life mechanical parts with the illustrated components as well. So for example, here this took me 2 clicks on eBay to find. So here's this like really cool train, and if you kind of zoom in, it gets a little blurry here, but there's a neat little screw there, whatever this thing is. I don't know, maybe it holds fuel or something like that. But you might find, that's like the perfect thing that I want for the ball to go through, whatever it is. And what's your legal stance on this? Who knows? You're probably going to end up modifying something like this anyway, and you might even just trace over it and use it as kind of your baseline for what you're ultimately going to end up with. Even this, look at this. This kind of looks like a bit of a rail right here too. So I would say, get used to also just kind of combing the internet for not only just inspiration, but you might actually end up using some of this stuff. Of course, you probably can't get away with just like grabbing the entire train and throwing it on there. Unless it's, this looks like a professional photograph. Perhaps if if it's someone selling a train on eBay, they took a photo from their, the back room of their house, maybe then you could kind of get away with it, or you could at least email them and say, hey, listen, you mind if I use that? And then another thing, just for inspiration, I would say take a look at any one of your kind of map apps. Obviously, Apple has their own here. Let me type in New York City. And these are great, I think, just for, again, for inspiration, but also maybe, just helping you with some of the guidelines for some of the things that you might want to put into a 3D perspective. So, like, for example, here, this is a really, I wouldn't normally think to draw something like this, but then if I see it on a map, I can go, oh my gosh, like that would totally be something fun in an actual pinball table. And I'm in obviously the satellite mode of the app, and it is 3D is on, although it kind of doesn't seem that way. Now it does. But so if you click this again, you get more of that like kind of top-down view. And I'm just using the trackpad to kind of zoom and rotate around. But this, if you kind of go slowly here, then you start to get into that sort of 2.5D perspective, and that can be a really hard thing to draw just on your own. But then if you have something like this that you're looking at as your guide, you can see, oh gosh, like, all right, I get it, all these lines need to go kind of down this way or over this way. And obviously the more you tilt it like this, the more the more in 3D it actually seems. But kit wise, you could totally do something like this as well. Again, I prefer the top down view, but hey, that's just me. And also too, there's just stuff that you're probably never going to think to do until you see it. And like, look at these shapes over here. How fun would it be to kind of run a pinball around this stuff, have them kind of bounce off violently around one shape to the next until it finally comes loose. And of course too, layering in the kit, all totally possible. You could have the ball go underneath this table. There's a whole ramp system that I've developed for it. So the ball would actually go onto the ramp, and then it can go over top of stuff that was maybe it might collide with underneath there. So there's all sorts of cool things that you can do. And I want to stop teaching this right now. I want to start making a pinball table based just on what I'm seeing right here. So, but no, I won't. I will not give up. I'm going to keep instructing today. Look at that. That's a great shape right there too. So, just again, consider the internet and all these little apps out there just your kind of worldwide garage sale of cool things. And of course, you can always go out and literally go to a garage sale with a camera. Everyone's got one on their phone these days, and just take some cool photographs, bring them back, crop them, do all that kind of fun stuff. I'm sure you guys already know how to do in Photoshop anyway. So let's now actually talk about Flash. I'm going to do that in the next video.